think I've let everyone in now. Cool. All right, so we are going to get into today's activation, which today's topic is the solar plexus, which is very, very timely, I feel, to just in general where we're at. So the last couple of weeks we did the sacral and we did the root chakra. And yeah, we're really building on that today with like stepping into the personal power and stepping into, it's actually connecting with the energy of the sun, like that's solar energy. So we're definitely going to do that. I am going to start today by saying I appreciate you and your patience, and also just reiterating my level of commitment to you. There's been a few people that were posting in the group today like, are the activations still happening? My answer is generally yes, like unless there is an apocalypse happening outside, and even then I'll probably still be like, guys, we're in the apocalypse, let's meditate. So my level of commitment to you guys is really freaking high. I know we haven't been able to communicate as well in the last few days, particularly because Facebook completely banned me and I have no access to my accounts. My personal account is completely gone for good. And it was a bit of a shock to me and my team and my system, and like, what the hell's going on? So we are in the process of dealing with that. But despite whatever's happening on the technological end behind the scenes and in the background, these activations are still going to continue. And if anything, you know, it's more important than ever to keep showing up, to keep doing the work, because you can tell like that resistance is strong. You know, what I shared with you guys last week, or I think the week before, about what happened from Uluru and how some things made it through that portal, but also some things didn't. And you know, I kind of did say that we're not in for the smoothest ride. There is a little bit of bumpiness up ahead. And so I guess where I'm seeing that play out now is that level of resistance in how I can actually communicate my message. So on the solstice, you guys all saw, you know, all the backlash that came in, and just energetically it was chaotic. Less than a month later, I'm permanently banned on social media. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, this is crazy. So I can feel, you know, guys, I'm very, very tapped into being able to feel what is happening in the astral. And I also know like how things are so multi-layered in how they actually translate through. And so when things like this happen, I'm like, cool, on the one hand, the story is that I've been banned on social media. On the other, I'm looking at the astral and I know that they know who I am, you know, like they're very well aware of who I am and what I'm doing, and they don't want me to do what I'm doing. And so the resistance is strong. And it's just part of the process of my role and what I'm here to do, because my role, you know, especially like I talk about Lily, my 5D self, a lot. The lily is, if you think about Archangel Gabriel and you think about the lily and the trumpet, the lily is like the messenger, you know, and so it is literally my role to embody that person that is bringing that message. And in the sharing of that message and actually propagating that out to all the humans on the planet, there is definitely resistance to that. And when I say they, I basically mean all the beings that don't want this planetary ascension to go ahead, of which there are many. So I'm not going to get into specifics of all of that because I really don't want to divert too much energy into it. But I know that resistance is there, and I know that I have been very severely affected by it in the last month. But it's not going to stop what I'm doing, and it doesn't take away my commitment to you guys. So like I said, rain, hail, shine, these activations are going to happen every Friday. I'm going to show up, you're going to show up, we're going to keep going. And we may have to create a whole new platform, which is what I'm having some conversations with my team about in the background. We may need to move off Facebook completely and create, you know, like something on a website or like a private members portal. I don't know. Like there's the logistics of this I haven't figured out yet, because there's just so much. And I'm not a super whiz when it comes to, you know, like website building and stuff like that. So part of me is like, oh my God, this just makes everything so much more difficult. But difficult doesn't mean impossible. And it definitely, you know, that motivation to keep going is definitely still there. So please trust in that. Please trust that I'm still going to show up no matter what. Like literally until the day that I die, like this is my message and this is what I'm here for. And I don't care what is happening and what resistance there is, I'm going to keep going. And I hope that you guys will too. So with that said, yes, we are still powering through. For those of you that were on yesterday's masterclass as well, it was, it was a little bit, it was a little bit chaotic as well. And so I'm just watching everything going, okay, cool. There's a lot more resistance than there was previously. It's getting a bit more tricky to navigate some of these spaces, and it is what it is. And I'm actually spending a lot of time at the moment meditating, tapping in with Star Family. There's been a lot of like, you know, council meetings and stuff lately of like, how do we navigate through this? And while there isn't a clear solution at this time, we know that we're definitely going to move forward. So ultimately, this is a message of hope and that everything is still okay. The question, Leslie says, is it possible to add the activations onto the website? Yeah, so that's what we're thinking of doing. So where you guys have the members portal where we've got, you know, like the premium activation suite and all that, I think what we're going to end up doing is just uploading the whole backlog of stuff. But as you can imagine, like, so in the last week, my VA has worked like nearly double time to what she normally does, if not more, just to get things floating, like just to get things back to normal in the panic of like everything that's been going on. So in the coming like week or so, we are going to take all that backlog of stuff and find a way that we can upload it all online and just keep going. I was going to upload last week's one onto the Facebook group just so that if you missed last week, you can still catch up, and possibly even the one before, but we're not going to do like all of last year's all over again. Like that would just take hours upon hours. It's just crazy. So we might just do like, you know, the last month's worth of activations, have them in the history there. And then as the new ones come in, we may just upload them onto the portal. But again, I still need to have conversations with my team. Like this is taking a lot of manpower as well. If you guys can imagine what we're doing behind the scenes here, it's been flat out, like you have no idea. You know? So as far as I've gotten, I'm like, okay, it's Friday, it's activation, I'm going to show up, I'm going to deliver, and then everything else at the moment is like a next week job. So that's where it's at, and this is where I'm just appreciating you guys and your patience and just understanding that there is a lot behind the scenes that needs to happen. We can't just wave a magic wand and suddenly have everything fixed. Like we need to build new platforms, we need new systems. This is like basically it's a web design project that needs to happen behind the scenes here. So we're trying to get it up and running as fast as possible. And in the meantime, we have created that Telegram chat so that I can still communicate with you guys. And they haven't banned me on Instagram, so I'm still posting stuff on there. If you're not on my Instagram, it's at Eesha Patel 11. That's my handle. Go follow me on there. I'm still posting. They haven't said anything so far, so hopefully I can stay under the radar for a little bit until I can get my other systems up and running. If anything, it's shown me that I can't trust third-party platforms because they can just decide that they don't want this stuff out there. You know, I mean, I put up posts, I think, I don't know, I've had a couple of posts over the years. Like I put one about multidimensionality a while ago, and then they just censored it and said that no one else can view this post now, and they just decided that. So I was like, what is this? You know, so unfortunately censorship is a very real thing, and the more I become open about this stuff, it's yeah, I mean, this is going to happen, right? Like I kind of have just gone, okay, cool. I feel like this is just part of the process. There's going to be that, and we just have to find ways to deal with it. Thank you all, guys. I'm reading all your suggestions. Yeah, we're still figuring out what the best path is. At the moment, the Telegram channel is public. It's actually not just for the New Earth Rising people. So it could be that we create a private channel for you guys, or it could be that we like build a Kajabi website that has all the stuff on it. Like we're still figuring out how we're going to do it. There are lots of options out there. We just don't know which one will be the best for what it is that we're trying to do. And so we need to have some team meetings and figure it all out. So yeah, totally valuing all your suggestions and that. And we'll come back to you when we have a solution. And I can fully acknowledge that it's not going to happen overnight. But in the meantime, these activations are still going to go ahead. And that's the part that I'm fully committed to. And no matter what, I'm still going to show up every single week, and this is going to happen. So just keep turning up, and everything else will just sort itself out in the background, and everything will be smooth from there. So yeah, that's that. The Instagram is Eesha Patel 11. So you can follow me on there in the meantime. I'm still putting up bits and pieces. When am I changing to Wednesdays? That is a Carolyn question. I know it is happening at some point. She's now in charge of my calendar, so I actually don't know. I think it's from the 1st of February. But again, we will send out communications on all of that. There's some team meetings that we're having behind the scenes in the next coming days as well. And we'll definitely let you guys know, because there's just a few things that we're juggling around. But either way, it's all going to happen. You're all going to get what you need. Everyone's going to be happy, and it's all going to be great. So yeah, on my end, like if I can be really honest here, I'm like, okay, Eesha, I'm just going to take a deep breath and just keep moving forward one step at a time. That's where it's at. And really appreciating you guys and your loyalty, because I know that sometimes, you know, when you see me going through this stuff, there's that uncertainty that can come into the group. Oh, like what's going to happen, or how's this going to go through, or is she still going to support us? And that's the piece that I really want to communicate, that no matter what, I am here for you guys, and whatever happens outside of that, we're just going to make it work, right? There's always a solution, and I have a very, very committed and dedicated team that have been working around the clock to actually support this whole process so that we can get things moving as fast as possible. Okay, so with that said, today is solar plexus, and I love working with the solar plexus energy, and I'm curious as to who has a beautiful sunny day today. And if you don't, that's okay. But I like doing solar plexus. Yeah, I do. I like doing solar plexus activations when it's sunny outside, because I feel like it helps me to just connect with the energy a little bit easier, because we are going to be connecting today with the great central sun and also the earth sun, bringing in that solar energy into our solar plexus. It'll be similar but different to what we've done in the previous meditations, in that we're going to drop in and we are going to tune into what's happening into our solar plexus. The same way that the sacral chakra can bring up a lot of stuff around sexuality and creativity, what the solar plexus can do sometimes is it can make you aware of things like personal insecurities, or perhaps confidence. If you have any lack of self-confidence in certain areas in your life, that's something that may come up today. So with that said, let's get started. All right, so let's take a deep breath in through the nose, exhaling out. Let's just give ourselves the permission and the space to just be with our breath, to be with our body for a few moments. As you breathe in and breathe out, just notice the simplicity in this moment. Allowing yourself the time to be present with yourself, with your body. Then gently on the next in-breath, bring your awareness to your heart center, connecting in with your heart star, the light that is your soul, your essence. Just let that light radiate out. Just allowing that light to radiate out from the center of your heart. And your next in breath from your heart, just breathe a little lower into your solar plexus. And as you connect into that space, just take a moment to get to know that energy with no judgment, with no attachments. Just tuning in, noticing what is present in that space. As you're observing your solar plexus, take a moment to notice the qualities, characteristics of that energy, noticing the color, the brightness, the size of that energy center. Noticing if it's bright or whether there may be some dullness in it. Noticing how it feels, whether there is any constriction, whether it feels light, heavy, expansive, tight. Just noticing, where is it at today? On your next in-breath, imagine yourself going into your solar plexus, sitting right in the very center. And imagine that from inside your solar plexus, you're looking out through the body, and in front of you, you can see a big golden sun. This is the great central sun at the center of our galaxy, the sun that provides the life force for our whole galaxy. And imagine that there is light from this sun that is pouring through into your body, and you are receiving this light right into the very core of your solar plexus. Notice how that feels as you start to fill up and energize the space with fresh, golden, liquid light. As all this light is pouring in, notice how your energy responds to that, whether it receives it easily or whether there's some letting go that needs to happen. Whatever the case may be, allow yourself to really sit with that flow. Let yourself be with what is present. Somewhere inside your solar plexus is a child version of yourself. And this child version of you picked up beliefs, ideas around how to be in this world. That child version of you was taught how to contain itself so that the adults could feel comfortable. That child version of you was taught not to be too loud, not to be too outspoken, not to be too free in how you speak, act, dress, and behave. As you breathe into your solar plexus, I want you to connect with that child version of yourself. You were born with confidence. You were born with sovereignty. You were born with permission to express, to cry, to play, to breathe, to throw tantrums. And somewhere along the way, you were taught otherwise. And you learned that if you act a certain way, that you will gain disapproval from those that you love. And so you sacrificed your confidence. You sacrificed your power. You sacrificed the too muchness of yourself so that you could appease the people around you. As you breathe into your solar plexus, go back to that baby version of yourself, the one that was free, the one that expressed freely, the one that didn't care what other people think and didn't even have a concept of that. What did it feel like in your body when you could express the purity of yourself, just as you are, knowing that you're not going to be judged, shamed, notice where in your life right now, as the adult version of yourself, you've stopped acting with that freedom, knowing that as a child, you always had that. as you bring awareness into the way that you have grown, the way that you have shifted, the beliefs that you've picked up along the way. Ask yourself, ask your energy, what is it that you need to do, say, or become to bring that childlike innocence back into your life right now? Do you need to give yourself permission to speak more freely, to use larger gestures, to ask for what you desire, to express without fear of judgment? Perhaps the child just wants to play. Perhaps the child wants to scream. Perhaps the child wants to demand and to feel safe to do that. What elements of childhood innocence would you like to pull forward into your adult life? And if you were to take action on that today, what will that look like in your life? Allow yourself to play out the scenario in your mind and feel in the body what it would feel like if you did fully express, if you were fully confident, if you reclaimed your power today, if you released your insecurities in this moment. How does that feel in the body? And just breathe that in. Can you allow yourself to become that more confident version of yourself As you're sitting in your solar plexus, see yourself, see your child self, and your baby self all together in a shared space. And all three of you can look out to that great golden sun, all receiving that light, that healing. As you're all being bathed in that light, you can ask yourself, what is the wisdom that can be shared between those parts of yourself? The baby version of you has wisdom to share to the others. The child version of you has wisdom that can be shared with the others. The adult version of you has wisdom that can be shared with the others. What are those gems for you? you feel to do so, you can breathe into your solar plexus and see all those parts of self now coming together. All the wisdom that has been shared can integrate. The parts that you wish to bring forward into your adult life can come with you. And all the while knowing that you're supported by this beautiful light from the great central sun. Aspects of self, cosmic energies intertwined as one. Just take a deep breath into your solar plexus. Start to visualize just a soft, gentle, yellow, golden ball of light as you start to bring your consciousness out of the solar plexus back into your heart space. And just looking to see that the energy feels whole, rounded, complete. If there's any last clearing to do, you can bring in the violet flame. Just cleanse away any last residual pieces of old beliefs, old patterns. Taking some deep breaths in through the nose, exhaling out. Let's take a long deep breath in, extending your energy down through the feet into the earth. Just allowing yourself a few moments to really ground in, anchor, integrate the process that we've done today. Again, taking a deep breath in through the nose, deep into the earth. Exhaling out as you gently start to bring your awareness back into the body. Slowly coming out of the meditation. Back into the room, into the space. Bringing some gentle movements. Keep taking those long, deep breaths until you come back to the space. Alrighty, how are we feeling? Hope you guys enjoyed that little process. Love to know some of your key takeaways from that. So what we did today was a little bit more, like it was chakra work, but it was also transformational work in that we were working with more of the inner child stuff. I could see that that's where some of you really needed that level of transformation. Steph, I feel like this one was really big for you. Like I really felt your inner child just being like, whoa. Love your feedback on that one as well. Like I think I said to you guys at the start of the year, you know, my range in transformational work is actually huge. I can do everything from galactic to like full transformational inner child, past life regression, like everything, you know, like there's so little that I can't do. I can do stuff around like physical health. I can do stuff around money. I can do stuff around spiritual awakening. It's all possible. And last year, you know, New Earth Rising, we did keep it mostly in that more galactic sort of space. But if you guys like processes like this, I'm happy to weave more of this stuff in as well, because sometimes it is important to go into, you know, more of this emotional or transformational type work as well. So let me know if you guys want more of this, and I can definitely weave more of that stuff in as we go throughout the rest of the year. With the back, yeah. That one, back stuff is usually your bottom two chakras, Prue. That's usually the root and sacral, and to do with support. Like we can do, this is the thing, right? Like I can do everything. Like I just have so much capacity. You know, for 5.5 years, I've been running meditations. And, you know, the people that were coming along to my Friday night meditation group for those few years when I had City Space, for 5 years, every single Friday night I ran a meditation. I don't think I ever repeated a single process. Like that is how much range I have and what I can do, that there is just like hundreds upon hundreds of different things that I can bring into this space. Like you can work with me for 4 or 5 years and you'll still keep learning stuff. There's no shortage of stuff that I can deliver. It sounds like you guys are wanting back stuff. Yeah. What we're going to do for the next few weeks, we are going to continue with the chakra series. And then what I can do is maybe at that point, take a little bit of time to get some feedback from you guys of what you want for the rest of the year. Because if you want specific, you know, healing tools, or you want inner child stuff, you want regression work, like I'm really open to receiving that feedback. And in some ways it makes it easier for me, because if you just tell me what you want, I just give you what you want, right? Although I will say I'm also pretty spot on at picking up what you guys want. And so I tend to just, you know, channel a lot of it anyway. But yeah, like totally open to receiving that. So if you guys ever, you know, are like, oh, I really wish Eesha would do this, I can't promise that I can deliver every single thing that you guys ask for, but you can always make a request, right? And if we get enough requests on the same thing, then, you know, we'll receive that, and then I can obviously like cater to that as well. So I do like receiving input from you guys on what you want, because otherwise I'll just keep doing what I do, you know, I'll just keep delivering stuff. So yeah, if you ever want to, you know, offer that, like, hey, I wish Eesha would do this, just email the team, contact@eeshapatel.com, and then Carolyn will just, you know, make like a suggestion list. And if we get things that are repeated, like if 4 or 5 people say we want XYZ, then I can happily, you know, do something about that. This is where there's definitely that room for, yeah, like making it so that you guys are getting what you actually want from this as well. Yeah, cool. I'm just reading the comments. I'm going to keep reading the comments. What I'll do is I'll put you guys into the breakout room so you can do your sharing today, and then I'll come back and just read some of this. Thank you, Steph. You're like, I just love all your stuff. There's so much there, guys. Like we can just keep going. Like there's so many facets to spiritual awakening, and you know, a lot of teachers will only focus on like one area, you know, like there are people that specialize in tantra and sexuality. There are people that focus on the galactic space. There are people that focus on healing. The thing with me is I can do it all. Like I've just had so much experience in so many different types of, you know, healing and experience when it comes to my exploration, that I feel like there's so little that I wouldn't be willing to explore with you guys. And especially now that you guys have been in this group for a little while, we can start weaving in some of the more complex stuff. Whereas last year, you know, especially for probably from about April to about September, I kept it very basic because you guys are still learning their foundations. Most of you hadn't even done the practices regularly. Now that you guys have, it kind of makes it easier for me to drop you guys into processes that are a little bit more next level, that are a little bit more advanced as well. So yeah, but yeah, I'll put you guys into rooms and I'll come back and read the rest of this, and then we'll finish up for the day. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Jen, I think your person left. Sorry. I was like, why are you all by yourself in the room? I don't know who was meant to be in there. I think maybe Magali. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Oh well, it happens. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Yeah, I just read the thing that you wrote, Kim. That's so beautiful about the voting for yourself. And yeah, like your voice should always be the loudest in your own head, right? Like how often do we allow ourselves to be dictated by what someone else says? And this was such a powerful process where, you know, we went back into that child version of ourselves that actually came in with that knowing. Like as a child, we know that this is who we are and what we're here to do in the world. And then somewhere along the way, it just gets lost. And so it's like, yeah, it's such a beautiful reminder to come back to that, yeah, like that is me, that is my wisdom, and I can own that. And I really hope, Kim, that you take that out from today into the world and actually come back to this as that beautiful reminder and take action on that. This process can be extremely, you know, transformational if you allow it to really, if you allow yourself to step into the transformation that's being offered. Yeah. So yeah, I really hope that you integrate that and that it changes something for you. Where will the replays be? Okay, that's a great question. So I am asking my team to put up the replay into the Facebook group. I'm a little hesitant in that, like, okay, put it this way, guys. If Facebook turn around and they shut down the group, we'll have to just put them onto the members platform. And in the scenario that does happen, which I don't trust them anymore and anything could happen now, we will contact everybody by email. I believe we have everybody's email addresses and phone numbers, so we'll let you know. But for today, we're just going to keep posting in the Facebook group. And worst case scenario, they shut down all my other pages. And like, I'm surprised they haven't, to be honest. They've shut down my personal one, but not my business one, because my business one has multiple admins. So I actually still have access to my page and I still have access to my groups. So we're just going to make the most of it as long as we can. And if they catch on, then, you know, then it may get shut down too. So today's activation will go in the Facebook group as per normal. Okay. And we'll let you know if anything changes. Oh, bye, Ben. Cool. Any other questions? I love that, Steph, you're going to be more playful. More innocence and laughter. Absolutely, Shamia. Never forget your playfulness, guys. Despite all the craziness of this world. In fact, because of all the craziness in this world, can we all just commit to laughing more, please, this year? Can we do that? Just find a reason to laugh every day, okay? I don't care what it is. Just bring more laughter, bring more joy. That's how we're going to create the world that we want to live in. All right, guys, I love you all. That was so beautiful. Thank you all so much for showing up. And yeah, just loving you all in all that you are. And yeah, see you guys next week. Any questions? Yeah, the Q&As will still be in the group as well for now. We'll figure out what happens from next week. All right, take it easy, guys. Much love. Bye.